That's right, my friends, is I, Simon Miller, the king of the ups and downs, the master of the wrestling review in another weird location. As I do one of my secret projects, I'm exaggerating there a little bit, but you'll find out soon enough. But the reason Ups and Downs continues is because that's the deal that I made with you many a year ago when we sold our souls to sports entertainment. But also, at the start of this week's episode of SmackDown, Adam Pearce, who was filling in for Raquel, was really pumped up about a crime. But honestly, Sikoa and his MFTs had been in some sort of a car wreck, and poor Tangaloa was bleeding from the head. Adam Pearce was like, oh my gosh, what's happened here? We're going to have to get the police involved. And you do have to put one on the crime counter, because whether this was real or fake, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, it's most definitely a crime. When I laughed out loud again, because Cody Rhodes walked in and said, oh wow, looks like you've got your hands full, Adam Pearce. I don't care about this wreckage. I can see over here. Have you sorted out my contract signing with John Cena later? Adam Pearce was like, you bet your ass. And he just walked off. This may have been the greatest start to SmackDown ever. At this point, there were no police, and we cut to Joe Tessitore, and he said, I'll basically figure it out. And I was like, man, wrestling is the greatest thing ever. Also, hello, my friends. Welcome to Ups and Downs from a cabin in the woods, which is a terrifying thing to say, because the last time I watched a Cabin in the Woods movie, somebody died. Let's see what happens. We really went in on all the skits as well, because then we cut to the allies of convenience, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And Charlotte was all like, Alexa, you need to calm down. Because I went to Adam Pearce and I said, oh, hi. Remember how we didn't really win, but we didn't really lose Evolution? Well, I think we should have a tag team title match for SmackDown, not SmackDown, for SummerSlam. Alexa was like, just like that, you've done it. Charlotte was like, yep. And Alexa was about to ask for more things, and Flair was like, you have to calm down. That match is now in the books. Now listen, I like that match and I love this tag team. I don't know who decided to put them together, but you have done a work of art, but I do have to give it a down. This was the worst Geese title shot ever, or give me a title shot. Even Alexa Bliss was like, sounds a little bit gnarly, dude. I don't know what's going on here. And it's not their fault. Like, they are genuinely brilliant together, but it's because the rush to SummerSlam is absolutely crazy. Because we had Satellite's main event, we had Evolution, we had the NXT show, the Great American Bash, so there's been no time. So now we literally have to have people walking up to general managers off screen. We don't see it and going, I think we should have a championship opportunity. And Pearce is like, yeah, fine. To be fair, he was trying to figure out a crime, giving it a down. It was then Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez with all the friends in the corners. And they essentially just ran into each other and then sort of came to a balance of the force. Because essentially, when you do break it right down, they're kind of jacked. I mean, Raquel at one point hit shoulder block, so Charlotte Flair came back with a bit of a wibbly-wobbly Hurricane Rana, but I still enjoyed it. When Charlotte did a dive, put a 1 on the dive counter. This is when I was told that apparently during that Charlotte-Alexa skit earlier, Kiana James and Julia were talking in the background. Now, I'm a bit worried about this, because Julia won that US Championship, she's done nothing. I don't understand it. And Kiana James hasn't been on TV in ages because she was injured. So we'll wait and see on this one, but it's a little bit of a weird return. I mean, it kind of felt like Kiana must have snuck in, which is when Roxanne Perez was like, I'm going to cast Distraction, because I enjoy doing that, put a 1 on a dick board, but because Alexa Bliss was out there, she tried to stop it, and of course Raquel Rodriguez took advantage. That's what bad guys do. But actually, no, she threw Charlotte right into Rhea the ring post, and then when Charlotte finally got back into this, and she climbed in the turnbuckle, and she went for a crossbody, Raquel Rodriguez picked her up and slammed her down. That was pretty cool. Big women slapping woman meat. Charlotte Flair then returned the favour because she was able to big boot her way out of the powerbomb, which is when Roxanne Perez cast Distraction again, but we've done the dick board. But because the referee wasn't looking, and I really enjoyed this finish, right? Alexa Bliss jumped on the apron. She's like, well, you're going to cheat. I'm going to cheat too. And she hit Raquel with a pom-pom. Now, she also guillotined her neck over the top rope, but I was still a bit like, what was in that pom-pom? A brick? Charlotte Flair then hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, surprise roll-up, and she got the 1, 2, 3. And listen, I know there was distraction, I know there was confusion, I know once again, as always, we were relying on the roll-up. This was so fun and kind of circumvented your expectations, because I never thought Alexa Bliss would do this. I'm absolutely giving it an up. All we have done here is said, listen, Charlotte, have fun. Listen, Alexa, go have fun, and it allows me to have fun too. So this really is a superb tag team. I like Raquel and Roxanne as well, especially because Liv Morgan will come back eventually. No notes here, and I'm excited about the women's tag team division again. Don't ruin it, WWE. Do not let it vanish into the Phantom Zone. It's happened too many times. The police, or the cops, then found Adam Pearce, and for goodness for that, This was even better, because they were like, listen, we're looking for Jacub Fatu because we need to question him because we've had a tip-off, which of course came from Solo Sikoa, when they turned around and the first person they saw was Jacub Fatu. This is wonderful. This is why professional wrestling can never change. Obviously, Jacub was like, I didn't do nothing, and he threatened to beat up the police. I was like, Jake, bro, don't do that. They'll definitely think you're guilty. Anyway, they did put him in the cop car, and off to the station he went. We then got a video for Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, and man, I hope we do more than this. Given there's only 2 weeks to go, I think we should have done something in the ring. But once again, I shall be patient. When we went back to everything between Damian Priest, Ron Killings, Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes. But this week, Carmelo Hayes was here, but Ron Killings wasn't. I don't understand this. It's always a threesome. Well, there's 4 people involved, but we ever see 3 people. Anyway, here Damian Priest went up to Carmelo Hayes, like, listen, I'm sick of you sticking your nose in. And Carmelo was like, well, I'm sick of you too. So they're gonna go and have a match. We also got a quick advert for the Naked Gun movie, which Cody Rhodes is in. I just want to say I'm very, very excited. If you'd like to know something about the personal life of Simon Miller, the Naked Gun trilogy of movies are some of my favourites ever. This has to be good, otherwise I'll be sad. We then did get Carmelo Hayes versus Damian Priest, and I thought this was super duper fun, especially because Carmelo was like, I think I'm going to attack you before you've even got your entrance jacket off. Exactly what he did. He also made sure to use Rita the ring post on the outside, so poor Rita was having a terrible evening because everybody was abusing that. But essentially, Melo screwed himself over because he kept on posing. I was like, Brudo, I understand, man. You are trying to increase your meter to use your signature moves, but you cannot pose in real life wrestling. Surprise, surprise, Damian Priest cut him off and punched. He then went for a super kick. When that didn't work, he hit a splash of the frogs and got a 1-2. But essentially, Damian Priest just kept powering back. Just when he was about to hit old school, his version of walking the ropes, Aleister Black ran down and pushed him off and beat the crap out of him, meaning it was a disqualification. So bam, put a 1 on the dick board, and this finish is getting it down. Like, I understand, because the match was so good, you're meant to be mad at Aleister Black for interrupting it, but it just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. Why did he wait this long? Listen, sometimes this stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. This one just maybe rolled my eyes a little bit, maybe because we've done it so much, but I do want to give the match an up. Like, we haven't seen Carmelo Hayes wrestle recently, and Damian Priest is just so damn good. They were cooking, man, and it was taken away. So yes, match quality up, finish down. Just think WWE relies on the dick board a little bit too much. Aleister Black then walked away, and he was in a cool suit, and he made sure to black mask Damian Priest after this. So it's either Damian Priest versus Aleister Black at SummerSlam, or Carmelo and R-Truth will be involved too. I don't know. The Wire 6 then told us that they were going to strip the tag team division on SmackDown of their vanities one by one. I've been thinking about that all morning. I have no idea what that means. When Solo Sikoa and his buddy boys walked to the ring, and this Solo Sikoa, man, I don't care what you say, he is currently one of my favorites. The dude is hilarious. Now, of course, Solo cast the guilty stick at Jacub Fatu right away and said, man, I told you he was always like this. And look what I've done for him. I brought him into WWE when nobody else would. He became a champion because of me. And ultimately, it comes down to one thing. Once a criminal, always a criminal. Now listen, this ties into Jacub Fatu's real life, so it is a bit like, oh, I can't believe he said that. But Solo Sikoa's face and the way he kind of jiggled afterwards, I love this man. I don't understand why we took so long to allow him to do it. I think he's flubbing brilliant. Of course, Fatu then returned to the building, which is very well timed. And a policeman turned into an AI robot and went, Jacub, you are not the person we're looking for, when Jimmy Uso greeted him too. And actually, this was an entire ruse, because Jacub Fatu came to the ring, and when Solo Sikoa and his not bloodline were looking at him, Jimmy Uso zoomed in, and then honestly, Jacub Fatu and Jimmy Uso, they killed these guys. Like, even when Tonga tried to get involved, nope, he got totally smushed. We also got this mad crossbody over Timmy the Timekeeper's area, when Solo Sikoa had a chair put over his head by Jacub, he was going to hicker tap him in the corner, when JC Mateo was like, I think that may kill him. I think he may dive, and he ran in there to make the save. That was a total massive error though, because he then got beaten up as well, and just as Solo Sikoa and Tonga was running away, Adam Pearce came out. Oh my gosh, this was so wonderful and so wrestling. He went, Solo Sikoa, turns out maybe you had something to do with this instead. So one, as you tried to put somebody behind bars, you're now going to be behind bars too, in the sense it will be a steel cage match between you and Jacub Fatu for the US Championship at SummerSlam, but also, yes, you've broken the law, one on the crime counter, you have to go to jail. And the police arrested Solo Sikoa as he continued to do the best facial expressions you've ever seen in your life. So compare this to some of the other builds we've talked about. This is what I'm talking about. You've got a fortnight to go. You look around the room, you're like, man, what if we just create total Dr. Robotnik chaos? That would probably work. totally did. It's getting a massive up. This was the most entertaining thing on the show by a mile, just because we led into it at the speed of 469 miles an hour. It was tremendous. It was funny. It was hilarious. It was damn entertaining. I liked it a lot. When it was time for Stephanie Vaquer versus Alba Fyre, and I don't know what to tell you. Like, Chelsea Green and her secret harvest were on the outside and they were interfering, but it didn't really work because Stephanie did win. There's a 1 on the dick board when she just hit her powerbomb knee thingamajig after the Devil's Kiss, and she got the 3. And I'm kind of torn here, like Natalie and Brudia, because if you are building Stephanie Vaquer up for a title match, sure, she's run through people, but poor Alba Fyre, like, she's really talented. She never gets an opportunity. This must have been done in 3 minutes. Did somebody say 3 minutes? So it is difficult because, of course, that is Alba's role at the moment. But I remember, I think it was John Cena once said, wrestlers sometimes have to accept it's not your night, kid. And I think that's the place we found ourselves this evening. So I will give it an up, but I don't think we should do many more 3-minute matches like this. It made it feel way too throwaway. And even afterwards, when her secret harvest tried to attack Stephanie, she just got rid of them. She smacked Piper Niven right in the face. But yeah, this is good for Steph, if I can call her Steph, which I probably can't. So I'll give it an up, but even I think I'm being a bit generous here. Let's use the magic words, we wait and see. Street Profits were then sad about losing their tag team titles from last week, but told the White Six we're going to get them back. When DIY walked in and essentially said, well, surprise, surprise, you screwed the pooch and we think you suck. It did lead into a 4-way though, which was DIY versus Fraxiom versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus Andrade and Fenix. This SmackDown tag division is so terrific. I don't want to use the term party match because people may get mad, but they're just party matches, dude, where you go, I go, your nan goes, we all goes. They are tremendous fun, and get this right, not only did Andrade and Fenix win again, Andrade got the pin. That's like 3 matches in a row. What the flub is going on? We are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Chris Sabin and Nathan Frazier started and they were just going so damn fast when DIY jumped them because they are assholes. And that essentially was the story of the match. Whenever anybody was doing anything, DIY were like, we don't like that because we're not involved. We're going to screw you. We also got all the dives. I put at least 3 on the dive counter. That's how many were happening. And this Fraxiom, man, when Nathan Frazier and Axiom got in there, they just fly around the place. The Motor City Machine Guns are OGs and they know what they're doing. We talked about DIY, we talked about how good Andrade and Fenix have when it comes to their chemistry. At least one of these teams needs to go over to Raw, because there's some great teams over there, but there's no depth. And arguably, SmackDown has too many of them. One of the best parts is when Fraxiom was able to stop the Machine Gun Skull and Bones, and then all of a sudden Axiom did his Spanish Fly, so Nathan Frazier did his Phoenix Blast, and that got broken up as well. Then it was 1-2 ooh kick, 1-2 ooh kick, 1-2 ooh break up. Just go and watch it, sit down, have a coffee, and have a good time. DIY even tried to steal one at the end of this as well, when Candice LeRae even cast distractions. I put a 1 on the dick board, but it didn't work at all, although we did tease it. This is when Johnny Gargano was like, I've got it, Tommaso. He went for a super kick, he whammed his partner, because again, if you are going to be bullies, you will get your comeuppance. When Ray Phoenix dove over these two to take everybody out, put another 1 on the dive counter, when Andrade was just like, all right, I'm going to hit the message, 1, 2, 3. Honestly, this was a delight. And surely it means Andrade and Ray Phoenix are going to get a tag team shot. I do not know how he ended up here, but I'm very pleased. Totally tremendous, getting it up. And Pierce was then back to host our contract signing, which did feel like a big deal between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And Cody walked out, just went, yep, done. And he signed the deal before he got on that microphone and started to talk about not flinching. Now, he referenced this too. You may have seen him put this on social media recently. And everyone's like, oh, he's going to turn heel. One person I saw, he went, he's going back to AEW. I think he has many years left on his deal. The whole point, though, is that he has never flinched once ever since he has come back. The return, he didn't flinch. When he tore his pec, he didn't flinch. When he had to take on best friend Randy Orton, he didn't flinch. And in fact, the only time he did flinch was at WrestleMania 41, where he allowed John Cena to run wild over him, but he's learned he's never going to do it again, and he's going to prove it at SummerSlam. Of course, the one line everybody loved talking about flinching is when he said, I didn't even let the final boss take my spot. So there's breaking the fourth wall down, and do that with what you will. And really deep down in his tum-tum, he's still a little bit sad because he still has to take something away from one of the most beloved wrestlers ever. That would be John Cena, but you know, Cena's a dick these days, so we'll do it. Now, Cena didn't like that at all, so he came to the ring and actually said, calm down, Mr. Cody, because I have some bad news for you, as he turned into Wade Barrett. He is shooting a Netflix film at the moment, so Netflix are aware, but he's not allowed to get physical due to his movie schedule. So listen, don't worry, Cody Rhodes. Maybe you'll get your shot in Paris, maybe you'll get it in Australia, but you're not going to get it at SummerSlam, so therefore I cannot sign this deal. That was it. It was the end of SmackDown. I'm kidding. Instead, Cody decided he wasn't going to have that, so he jumped this man, which was basically an assault. And even though John Cena did fight back and got that championship, he went to hit Rhodes. Rhodes got out of the way, and this time he proved he wasn't going to flinch. He whammed John Cena right in the head, when guess what he did? That's right, he put him on a table, he splashed him through it. We don't have to slap into a Slim Jim because we weren't able to see that logo. When he took John Cena's hand, and he scribbled his signature on the contract. Now listen, if we go back to when Rhea Ripley did something similar to this, when she just went, oh, it's a singles match, is it? Not anymore. Adam Pearce told us that wasn't allowed, so surely this one isn't allowed either. But look into my eyes, friends, it should be allowed. In wrestling, if you put your name on a deal, no matter how it went about, it should be legal. I'm probably not going to do this, which is a shame. But I think you have to put a one on the crime counter. You're not allowed to do that. It really did make me laugh, though, and that's the whole point when Cody also got on the microphone and said, oh, Johnny boy, do you know what you've just signed for? Cena should have been like, I signed for nothing, you absolute thief. But it is going to be a street fight at SummerSlam, and actually, given what did happen at WrestleMania 41, and the kind of carnage these two probably need, I think that's a good decision. It has got me excited about that match. Once again, this is the way to build something. It was just totally woefully insane. I'm giving it an up. Good angle. I'm still convinced that Cody is going to win there, which allows John Cena to finish off his year's retirement as a babyface, which makes all the sense in the world. And this was a really fun SmackDown. Like, we did dumb stuff, we did stupid stuff, but because we played it straight, while also going, wink, nudge, nudge, we know what's going on here, it just allowed you to tap into the madness as well. I'm giving it an up. I liked it muchly. Now, of course, please do leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about SmackDown last night. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for Raw. And otherwise, just enjoy a weekend of wrestling where there's not a lot going down. SummerSlam will be here soon and we'll start again. But that's okay, we're prepared. I'll see you then.